Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on E!
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New York Giants. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback, a multiple-time Pro Bowler. It's, of course, Eli Manning.
When you look at the numbers that Eli Manning posted in 2017, there's plenty of cause for concern. Lowest yards per completion of his career, fewest yards passes since 2008. His numbers continue to drop in terms of touchdowns and rising in terms of interceptions. But he's one of the fiercest competitors in the league, even if you can't tell it by his demeanor. And no, you don't hear about his workout program like Tom Brady and Drew Brees. But this is a guy that burns to win.
There goes Eric Decker. 20, 10, touchdown, Giants. Eric Decker, 75 yards. And the Giants are going to take a first-quarter lead. We thought they may be a quick strike offense this season. That is lightning quick. Not bad for the first drive of the year.
That has to actually exceed expectations, doesn't it? Because most teams want to be a quick strike offense. They want to score as quickly as possible and run a defense into submission. What they have to understand is, while they got it done there, long way to go. Don't get discouraged if you actually have to run a few more plays on your next drive.
This is taking just shy of the 10 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by a man who started 15 times in place of Andrew Luck last year. And he gets the call to start 2018. It's Jacoby Brissett.
As far as insurance policies go, he's definitely not a bad guy to have around. He had only played 3 career games when he's picked up from New England at the start of 2017. But he's a competitive player, and many around the league believe he's a true starter in the NFL.
Here's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And for this offensive unit that we'll see here in just a second, T.J. Yeldon is certainly someone to mention.
Came out of Alabama with a lot of attention, but earned it. This guy is better and better at a lighter weight. Shifty back who can finish with power.
Brissett now on 2nd down. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where he, their big tight end, is so good. That middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well. And he's got it.
And we look now at the defense for the Giants.
And what a deal for the Giants to pick up Alec Ogletree to run their defense from the middle linebacker position. A former safety who can flat out run and make tackles in the open field. He enjoys being the centerpiece of a defense and calling signals.
Play fake. Here's Brissett. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion. Kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Brissett. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, Find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Alec Ogletree in on the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And they'll get this down to the 10. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They'll try and run forward with Fournette. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for...
Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Austin Seferian-Jenkins. His first touchdown as a Jacksonville Jaguar. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants making their way out, and at this point you would have to think that all mentions of last year maybe erased from team history, or at least that's what they want. Clearly, Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, the talent on this team, too good for another 3-13 finish, right?
And I think that was reflected in their draft in 2018. Because if it was an all-out rebuild, they would have drafted a quarterback at number 2. Instead, they drafted Saquon Barkley. So that signals to me they want to get back to running the football and trying to punish people on offense and take the pressure off of Eli Manning. And on the defensive side of the ball, they obviously have to get better. But believe it or not, you know who can really help them there? Their head coach, Pat Shurmur. Comes from a defensive family, understands how valuable it is, and loves the toughness and the identity that a good defense can provide.
Manning again here on 2nd and 10. Caught left side. It's Beckham. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. They fake the handoff. Now Manning. He's going to float this one. Looking for Decker, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And now the spin. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. 3rd down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that makes the score 14-7. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. On play action. Now Manning. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Now Saquon Barkley, and he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Stewart. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to observe.
He finds Shepard. Touchdown, Giants. Sterling Shepard, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic. But usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever. There it results in a touchdown. This one taken just inside the 10. The Jags heading out on offense. Well, last year we said, Charles, one of these years it has to come together for the Jaguars, doesn't it? Well, guess what? It certainly did. They won double-digit games for the first time in 10 seasons, and they picked up 2 more wins in the playoffs before falling in that tough one to New England.
And they decided that on offense, they were going to be a team that knocked you off the ball and ran it. That's why they drafted Leonard Fournette out of LSU, and he gave them some toughness and an identity. Quarterback Blake Bortles, often criticized, but elevated his play in the playoffs, both with his legs and his arm. For the defense, that's where the big transition happened. Yannick Ngakoue coming off the edge. Calais Campbell, maybe the best player on the defensive line in the league last season. But Jalen Ramsey out at corner, he gives them their swagger, he gives them their look, and he gives them great play on the edge. And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Left side complete, Safarian Jenkins. A gain of 6 there on 1st. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. A handoff to Fournette. About 3 yards there to the 27. No one ran the ball more than the Jaguars in 2017, and we could very well see another carry here on 3rd and short. They'll try and run for it with Fournette, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And the first play will be a field goal try. from the right hash. This from 45 yards away. And Lambeau will put this one through, and they take a 17-14 lead. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defense is awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Eli Manning getting ready to go again on offense. You know, normally he's probably pretty happy with his performance at this point. He's played pretty well. Bottom line, they're down on the scoreboard, so I'm guessing he's not that happy.
No, the fantasy owners who have him for this week, oh, they're happy with what's going on. But for him leading a team, trying to win a ball game, I agree with you. Not happy at all. Trying to figure out how to up his game and inspire his teammates to do the same.
That's a true leader. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
On second down, they run with Stewart, and he stopped immediately there. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Now a play fake. Manning. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Calais Campbell able to drop him for a loss of 12. And it'll be 4th down.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Looking back to Leonard Fournette's rookie campaign, over 1,000 yards rushing. And coming into the league, some people saw this kid as an ex-Adrian Peterson. What can we expect from him going forward?
I like the comparison because of the size, the strength, the speed. But I think he catches the ball better than Adrian Peterson. So I think they can up his utilization in the passing game. But what really impressed me was down the stretch in the divisional playoff game against Pittsburgh, hurt his ankle, left the game for a while, and came back and helped power his team to a big victory. Remember, he had some dings at LSU that kept him out of a few games. I thought that was a breakthrough for Leonard Fournette.
Here we go!
First down, Brissett. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Here we go!
From the gun, here's Brissett. And that is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Come on, let's go! What?
On third down, Brissett. They go with the screen. It's Yeldon. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Olivier Vernon brings him down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. On the crossing route, complete. That's Cole. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let's go!
From the shotgun, it's Brissett, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Pass interference. Defense.
A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. This is caught. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. In for the score. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. Lambeau to add on the extra point.
This has to be great for the psyche of this offense. Presented with bad field position, they didn't let it stop them. They rolled downfield and scored a touchdown.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. Here now, time to discuss Odell Beckham Jr. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They give him a gain of 38.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now Stewart on 1st down. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. A reminder coming up at the half, we hook up with a new guy, Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis, and more importantly this year, scores and stats from around the league here in Week 1. So do not press that skip button. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. The Giants on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. From the gun, it's Manning. He finds Beckham complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Working from the gun, Manning. That's complete right around the 8. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Again, it's Manning. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend, sure that he's right.
Fournette proven to be even more dangerous this year than as a rookie as the Jags come up 1st and 10. So we've reached halftime here on... All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here.